Hello everybody! Hi. Recently I was hopping worlds in VR chat with my girlfriend when we came across one that blew our minds. As we were just hanging out, I didn't record any of this, but I did come back to reenact it for you guys. I hope you enjoy. So, this world is called Luminescent Ledge. The thumbnail seemed colorful and nice, so naturally we picked this world to hang out in. Upon arrival, it's pretty easy to notice how cozy everything is. Hell, we started out facing this neat firestone gathering spot. Moving around though, we've got some interesting pens, a waterfall of glowing water, a couple places to chill. This world is just really nice to walk around. Aside from the dark forest and hills, the only other areas to explore were down this way to a sort of gathering spot, or towards this neat little table with items sprawled around. Naturally, we checked out what the table had to offer first. Here we had a bunch of flashlights and glass vials. The flashlights are exactly what you'd expect, but as soon as we picked up the vials, we realized that there was an option to fill them with something. Putting two and two together, we dunked the vials into the glowing river water, and sure enough, we were able to fill them. With our only next option being to drink the illuminated beverage, we did just that. And what happened next? Well, we basically got high in VR. Everything started to glow. There were new patterns all over the place, images popping up in different areas, but the most interesting thing I saw in that brief moment was glowing lines in the sky. It looked too much like they were all pointing in the same direction, and once I pinpointed the location they all met, that was it. Was this spot important? Was there something I could do here? I don't know. I think I've been drinking too much river water. We experiment with our new drugs a little longer before we finally head down to the watching area. Nothing really cool over here, high or not, but there was a picture of a unicorn on the wall. Oh yeah, and right next to it, an ominous secret hatch leading deeper into the island. At this point, we were pretty weirded out. The world seemed so normal with maybe just a cool drink effect that you could find, but things really seemed like they were getting real. Reluctantly, we stepped into the hatch. At the bottom we found ourselves in a tunnel capped off with an electric door. With clear instructions on how to proceed, we slipped a floppy disk into the slot and were allowed access. The next room would completely confirm everything we had been thinking about there being more to this world. We've got computers, research, notes, tools, blocked doors, you name it. The last thing we noticed about it though was the ticking timer above the door itself. Kinda terrifying, eh? Naturally, we start to explore. Reading the bulletin board, we can see that there's some sort of anomaly taking place regularly on this island, and the lines we saw in the sky was a portrayal of the magnetic fields associated with this point. There's a floppy disk we can insert full of conversations between researchers. I'll spare you the details, but essentially everything is going fine until the anomaly happens at an unpredicted time. They consistently panic about this, but everything seems to return to normal once the anomalies happen, so my guess is the spontaneity of the event is holding them back from properly researching what's going on. Inside of one of the rooms we can access, we've got a small kitchen setup as well as some beds. In this room we can see that A, they're out of food, and B, they have a clock keeping time while this planet of an island stays under the stars all night. The last point of interest in this room is the floppy disk on the nightstand. Inserting it into our computer shows us two graphs describing power spikes over time monitoring the event area both during an event and before it. The interesting thing about the second graph is that we don't seem to keep following the time measurement after the power spike. We might be in some sort of time loop situation here. We then checked our last door, the storage room. Nothing super interesting in here, but we were able to find this little guy, with seemingly no significance, and another floppy disk. This time the floppy disk contained logs from an undescribed person. They basically wrote down their experiences on the island while researching the anomaly. There didn't seem to be any crucial information here as far as I could tell, so we'll just leave it at that. Now lastly, the table in the middle of the room. There's a note describing the importance of this computer and its access card. Once we slide the access card into the slot, the screen tells us it's functioning on automatic mode. And to switch into manual mode, we'd need to type in a code. Unfortunately, even if we knew the code, we can't type it into this computer because the keyboard is broken. Go figure. The timer until the automatic discharge will always time out to about 4 minutes before the door timer would finish. My girlfriend and I waited for the timer to end, but it just resets the door timer when the PC timer runs out. As far as I'm aware, there's no way to see what's on the other side of this door right now. But I have a pretty good idea that the creator might be updating this world eventually. It seems like there's some kind of setup to find a code and maybe a new keyboard to plug in all the important details, but it's just not there yet. If you know anything about this world that I haven't discovered, let me know down in the comments below. The world is PC and Quest friendly, so find Luminescent Ledge and explore it all for yourself. As for now, my name's Myloe, and I'm out.